Hey, I'm Justin, and I don't like to read. Blue, where are we in the book? Where are we in the book?
I think we did a whole discussion last time about how I'm the one who starts the podcast.
Yeah? But where are we in the book right now?
I don't know. We just had to re-listen to where we were because I forgot. Anyways, my name is Blue. I love to read. Welcome back to Reading Held Hostage. Do your part again.
I already said it.
Well, can you do it again so it's like consistent with the...
With how it runs?
Yeah, so I'll start one more time and then you...
I'm Justin, I don't
No,
like to
Justin,
read.
shit, fuck. You didn't... I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say the first part.
Yeah, like we always... Okay.
And then you're gonna say the second part. Okay? So, howdy, folks.
I'm Justin, and I don't like to read.
No, Justin, I don't think you did a very good job listening to me. So, I'm gonna start and do the first bit of the podcast.
I'm Justin, and I don't like to read.
Welcome back, folks. This is Reading Held Hostage. Justin and I are recording this at 6 o'clock at night, which is like...
Very late.
Bedtime.
Bedtime,
I'm pretty hungry. But
it's December. You go to bed when it's dark out.
And it's always dark out.
Yep.
There is no... And I've had some pretty bad headaches for the past little bit here. So it's been dark in our house. But that's how it's been. So Justin, since we just listened to the last little bit, can you tell me where we are? While I get my laptop set up.
Rue and Katniss were being best buds.
They're vibing, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yep. That was the
Do you have
synopsis
anything
I
else?
had.
I feel like there's probably a little bit more.
Okay, so Rue and Katniss were being best friends, and...
No, Justin, now finish the more of what you have to say. Ew, dude, you spilled everywhere.
I was trying to do a bit, make it sound like make the slurp sound come out.
Well, you made the slurp sound come out, and you spit
and spilled
everywhere.
on my shirt. Yeah.
Okay, so this is part 4. I think it's gonna be a 6-parter. You know, I just said I was
lied
ready.
about being ready.
Yeah,
this is going in. This is going in the podcast now.
We were talking about how we're remembering that Rue and her, they're tight. Nightmare time. Okay.
Nightmare.
And she's coming up with a plan.
Hey, so for everybody at home, this is not an acid trip friendly podcast.
No, it's not. Are any podcasts acid trip friendly? I don't think I want to listen to a podcast that's acid trip friendly.
Yeah, just a lot of very smooth. NPR's acid trip friendly.
Yeah, I suppose.
Very smooth, slow talking at a very neutral tone.
Hey, we're not losers there. Okay. All right, Justin, back to the serious.
Oh, wait,
issues.
Shut the fuck up. Jungle Gyms has a podcast.
No fucking way.
Yes, fucking way.
Is the monkey in it? I feel like there's got to be a monkey in it.
I don't know.
Why'd you bring it up?
I went to Jungle Gym the other day.
Is Jungle Gyms a regional thing?
I think it's an Ohio thing. Oh, shit.
Well,
now people
we already know we were in Cincinnati.
Now people know we're in Ohio.
Please forgive us.
But yeah, I went to Jungle Gyms and they fucking had a studio right next to the entrance. Like they had a little closed-in studio where they recorded the podcast.
And the one up by Dayton?
Yeah.
Huh. That's so weird.
It's super fucking weird. Like,
we have to listen to that. Maybe we can get sponsored on the Jungle Gyms podcast.
Not if you keep fucking calling it Trader Joe's.
They're both the same. They give the same vibe.
No, they don't.
They do.
One is a massive fucking store with a bunch of shit, and one exploits their workers a lot.
Those could be either or for me right now. Okay, we're gonna go because I'm hungry for Alfredo, and we went really long. Oh
shit!
You motherfucker! You
my
sick
phone's on.
fuck.
I'm sorry.
Let me make sure my phone's off too. We're professional.
We're professional podcasters.
We're not professional podcasters until somebody starts giving us money. So,
Anchor technically gives us money.
We barely made $1. Which, by the way, we're almost at 400 downloads. which you're not supposed to talk about how many downloads allegedly, but
Why
I'll
not?
talk about whatever. I don't know, because maybe people don't like it.
Is it like the thing where you're not supposed to talk about your
About money.
Yeah, your salary at work?
Yeah.
Also, 100%.
Pretense.
100% talk about your salary at work.
100%.
100%.
Okay.
You gotta know what you're getting paid and what your coworkers are getting
Justin,
paid.
if you want to start the communist podcast, that's fine with me, but you're going to have to get somebody else.
I worked at a place where the guy was working there for 5 years.
You got paid the same amount as you.
I was paid 25 cents an hour more.
Yeah. I'm going to drink my coffee.
And he was my manager.
Editing Blue here. Just so you know, there's some gross coffee drinking sounds ahead. Mm-hmm.
That was so loud. Like you were trying to sneak it and it just full on didn't work.
It was super quiet. Okay, we're
I
at
think
chapter
this is the
16.
most chaotic intro we've
We had
ever
the
done.
most chaotic ending last time, so
Yeah.
if people are listening sequentially, they're going to get absolute chaos at the end of last episode.
And the chaos here.
At the beginning of this episode. Okay, we're on chapter 16. And Katniss and Rue are vibing. Rue automatically trusts Katniss wholeheartedly, and she's like snuggling up in the sleeping bag with her, which is like...
Is it because she's a child?
Yeah, literally 12.
And she's in a murder dome and someone was nice to her in the murder dome?
In the murder dome, yeah. But Katniss knows they both can't survive this. She starts thinking about how she needs to get rid of the pack of food the careers had. We talked about that last time.
Yeah, and the water, too.
What about the water?
She wanted to do something to the water so they couldn't use the water pond right by the cornucopia.
No.
Yeah.
That's like, didn't happen.
I'm pretty sure it did, so.
It didn't. I'm telling you as the person who's reading the book.
To all listeners, leave a comment down below and say, Justin's right about this one.
Anyways, they wake to a cannon being shot, but they don't know who is dead. And, you know, this wakes Katniss up, but Rue's already awake in the trees across from her. And they kind of, they just gab. It's the morning. They're talking about who's still alive, sweet gabbing for the days.
Cool
who's
dab
still
of
alive.
who's living and
Yeah.
who's murdered in the murder dome.
The murder dome. They go through a list, but they know they're forgetting somebody, but they can't remember who. Rue also has like these 2 eggs for breakfast and they eat them raw, which is like gross, but
Yeah.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's not like they have a skillet out there.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't.
Okay, wait. Should we talk about the duck eggs?
Ew, if you want.
I got duck eggs. Blue's not eating the duck eggs.
I just can't emotionally eat them.
But I tried it. Those things fucking don't open.
They're hard.
They don't open. Like I smashed it like you did an egg.
And you're a big boy.
And
Strong
it just
big boy.
did not open.
If my mic's down here, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. They can hear me all the same.
They probably hear this right now.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So you're gonna... Hey, future Justin, if this is you leaving it in, can you hear me?
It's Justin from the future. I can.
Babe! Okay. Yeah, gross eggs. Rue is excited to learn about Katniss's plan to destroy the food pile, and Rue gives her a little bit of a lowdown about how they're by the lake, and their supply stash is 30 yards from the lake, because we talk in yards. And during the day, Katniss is told by Rue that they leave the boy from District 3 to watch over things while they hunt, because apparently he got stung too, and ran down to the lake, and now he's being used as like a guard. He's not typically part of a career pack.
Yeah. He's probably fucked up though from the
sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Katniss and Rue knows there's something off about this setup since the food's just like out in the open, but they have no idea what's wrong. So they hunt and gather. Katniss learns about Rue, how she's the oldest of 6 kids. She's fiercely protective of her siblings. I know, she's 12, which means a kid a year pretty much.
yeah.
Well, pregnant for a year, kid pregnant. Typically the body, if you are somebody who's able to breastfeed, breastfeeding acts as its own type of contraception. Mm-hmm. So within like a 2 year, that's why a lot of kids back in like the olden times are at least 2 years apart, because you were typically breastfeeding for 2 years and then were able to get pregnant again. Which I
What is
always
that? What is that called when like you get pregnant right after the next one?
well,
it's like,
for white people, it's called Irish twins.
okay.
Yeah, that's what it's been called. Like, in Divergent. Is it Divergent? Yeah, it's Divergent. I can't remember her name. The main character and her brother are only 10 months apart, which you're really typically not supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you can manage to not do that.
Let your body chill for a minute.
Your body needs a minute. So, anyways.
To all the ladies out there, I'm giving lady advice out.
Yeah, just
chill for a minute.
Fucking chill. Like, calm down, bro. Your body needs to heal.
Yeah. Or all people who can get pregnant. Sorry.
Yeah, Justin.
Sorry for being...
Use your inclusive language.
A bigot.
Rue also forages in the meadows of her district, but in her district, the peacekeepers don't hesitate to kill. So, like, Katniss doing it is like, chill. What?
I won't hesitate, bitch.
I won't hesitate, bitch. But in Rue's district, they'll just, like, straight up kill her for nothing. And she also learns that Rue really loves singing and music.
We did talk about this last time, but what do you think the difference is between the two peacekeeper groups and why they
Rue's district is black. No, I think, honestly, the real thing is District 11's import is... So in my brain, like I said as a kid, they're numbered. Therefore, District 1 and 2 are more important.
Yeah. District
12, not important. But I don't think that's actually the case.
Yeah. But it is true that, like, coal, you can... They probably have more coal than they need.
Yeah, only that.
They're definitely probably softening, but fresh food only is fresh for so long.
Yeah, and so, like, the agriculture district is going to need to have way more strictness, and, like, the peacekeepers are going to feel more important there. Yeah. But when you're in, like, the coal district, the peacekeepers are like, I've been sent here to die. Like, I don't fucking care anymore.
And also, like, you can't steal coal to feed your family.
Yeah.
Especially in a coal town.
Literally. So... I mean, I don't think it's just because they're black. I think that's a joke. But I do think it's honestly like the peacekeepers in District 11 probably feel they have a more important job than those in District 12. Yeah. Whereas those in District 12, it's kind of like, we're fucking done with you. We don't want to see you anymore. Go to District 12.
Where are the peacekeepers from?
They're all from the capital.
They're all from the capital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's why, I think because they are from the capital...
It's like how a lot of police are from, like, white rich neighborhoods.
Yeah, but then they're policing different
for POC neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. It's about 40%. You should look up 40% of all police officers.
Dude. I can't believe you found a way to sneak that in. Anyway, Rue's talking about how they sing a lot in her district, and this is one of the reasons Rue liked Katniss so much right off the bat, because of her Mockingjay pin. Rue, like, touches it, and Katniss is like, oh my god, I forgot that was there. This whole book is basically Katniss going, wait, it's still on me?
Oh, wow, this is completely unimportant to me and my character.
Literally, until, like, the third book. But typically Rue is... Since she's so tiny, she's up in the tallest of trees and can see the flag that signals quitting time the earliest. So she signals the rest of the people by singing a little tune to the Mockingjays, and then, like, the Mockingjays will spread the tune. What?
She just does the iPhone alarm.
God, I can't even... Oh, is that how it goes? They split up, like, their things, like Katniss's, like... Katniss insists on Rue taking the sleeping bag while they're separated, and she's like, I'll just pick another one up by the lake. But really, she's like, you'll fucking freeze to death. Like, you're so tiny.
You ain't got no fat on you. I don't either, but you...
Yeah, you really don't. They decide to meet back up for dinner, and Rue says that if they don't get to meet at the end of the day, at the end of their time, as long as they hear the Mockingjay singing the song, that means they're safe. And Rue gives her a hug, and they both wish each other to be very careful. The thing about the Mockingjay singing the song that doesn't make sense to me is, like, what if the birds just, like,
happen to sing that song?
Yeah, like, it gets stuck in their head, like how we get songs stuck in our head, and all of a sudden the Mockingjays are like... all the fucking time. Yeah. And it's like, oh, Rue's safe, and it's like, no, she's not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Katniss reaches the lake. Oh, what?
This song is Poland by Lil Yachty.
I don't understand.
I take the walk.
Oh, can you do it one more time for me?
I take the walk.
Justin, you're too good. We're gonna get Justin, careful. We're gonna get copyright striked on YouTube. Hey,
Everybody's...
We're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, buddies.
Okay. Katniss reaches the lake a lot more quickly than she expected, so she just kind of like sits and observes for a really good chunk of time. She sees that there are 4 tributes, the 2 tributes from District 2, the boy from 1, and the boy from 3. She has no idea why the boy from 3 is involved. She's like really fucking confused by it. But she can see that they're all recovering from the Tracker Jack attack, and she can tell that like most of them didn't pull those stingers out, which I don't know how she can tell that.
Oh, she sees them.
She sees the Tracker Jack
she sees
stingers.
yeah.
Okay. And they also don't know what leaves will heal them. So basically they're just like fucked.
They're more fucked up than her because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Because like she was saying earlier, they don't have the basic survivor skills needed. Yeah. The items are in a big pyramid. She knows it's booby-trapped, but she has no idea how it is. Mm-hmm. And then smoke starts to rise, and it's the first fire that her and Ruth set. And, you know, what's it called? The boys, the career pack got it. Mm-hmm. They start getting ready, and they even bring the boy from District 3, and they kind of say, like, nobody's going to be able to get to the stuff.
Yeah.
The boy from District 1 is like, he's like, what if it's a trap by PETA? But Kato's like, literally, he's bleeding to death right now. We're fucking fine.
Yeah. The thing is, why wouldn't you think it's a trap at this point? How many days are they in? Like almost a week? Yeah,
about a week, maybe a little bit over a week.
Like, why would you not, like, no one set a fire for a week. Mm-hmm. And then you see a fire and you're like, we got to go check that out right now. Mm-hmm. What's the point?
I think they're saying, like, even if it is a trap, it's better than nothing right now. It's better than just sitting around. Yeah. Because they're like, we're a pack of 4. What?
I mean, let them come to you.
And they did?
They're going to starve to death. Let them come to you.
Yeah. So Katniss stays still for a really long time. And she's like, okay, I still have no fucking clue what's going on. So she's just sitting there like, maybe it'll just come to me what's going on over there. It shockingly doesn't. But right before she's about to step out, Foxface pops out and does a little dance around the ground. And then she kind of like falls and she screams. She's terrified. And Katniss is like, what?
Foxface?
Yeah, so Foxface is the redheaded girl from District 5.
Is that her name?
No, that's what Katniss is. Katniss is mean. Oh. So that's what Katniss calls her.
She's just a bully.
Yeah. And, you know, the girl steals a bunch of things and then heads out. She does a little weird dance on her way out, too. And Katniss is like, what the fuck is going on? And it takes her, again, another significant amount of time to realize what's going on. And she realizes the boy from District 3, which is the electronics district, must have rewired the bombs at the base of the podiums and put them around the food. Is what I'm saying makes sense. So there's landmines around the food.
So he just turned the landmines that could be turned off into landmines that are always on.
That are on, yeah. It then takes her a little bit more time to... she's just sitting there, dude. Just fucking
chilling.
That she's like, how the fuck am I going to knock shit? And she's like, if I can shoot arrows and knock... like, this bag of apples to fall into the mines, shit will explode.
If I can waste arrows.
Well, she says she's like, I'm only giving it 3 arrows. Yeah. And then I have to find a new plan. Yeah. Which is already 3 of her 9. Yeah. That's pretty
Huck a rock.
Do literally. I mean, she's really fucking fast.
Yeah.
I think we learned that last time.
Like, huck a rock. Do anything else. Like,
she's not very creative.
You only got so many arrows.
Well, I think she does know how to make arrows if she really needed to, you know?
That's going to take like a day or 2 to make a couple arrows.
Just saying. But like, so she only gives it 3. She moves a little closer, doesn't hit it, moves a little closer, doesn't hit it. Then she moves way too close, hits it, and then she's like smacked backwards. And she's like, crap.
She goes up, pokes it with the arrow. Did it. Whoa, that hurt.
Chapter 17. Wind obviously knocked out of her as she hits the ground. And she can feel the extra explosions through the vibrations, but she can't hear anything.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah, she
I'm
fucked
surprised
up.
she has eardrums anymore.
Yeah. She tries to get up and out of the open, but she is very dizzy and cannot move well. So she's kind of like... moving very slowly on her hands and knees. She still can't hear. She grabs like one of her ears and it's all bloody. Yeah. So she like wraps like fabric, her hood kind of like, you know how like they do the cinching thing around your head sometimes with hoods. That's kind of how I imagined it, so that there's not blood everywhere. She's moving on her hands and knees, and then like another explosion hits her and pushes her forward. She's fucking pissed.
Honestly, the thing with your face or ears or like anything on your head bleeding while you're in a fight and don't have time to like do anything about it is don't get it in your eyes.
No, and luckily it's just her ears, but like still.
Like that's the thing is blood in your eyes clouds them over so you can't see anything.
Got eye blood.
Got eye blood. Can't do nothing with eye blood.
Shit with eye blood. She's like gets into like just the first like and what's the one? Shrubbery. Like she just hits the shrubbery right as the group pop. Oh my god. Ooh.
Do you know this podcast we talk in?
This one?
Yeah, this one. We talk
the
in
one
this
we're
one.
Currently recording.
Yeah. So you need to talk in it.
I don't understand.
You need to be able to talk for this one.
I'm confused. I'm about to explain. Just as she gets into the shrubbery lining, they come back in, and Kato's obviously pissed, and he ends up just like straight up breaking the neck of the boy from District 3 and immediately gone.
Well, that was a fucking dumb idea, though.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was Kato's idea. So.
Like, make a ring of the mines around you. Don't put them all under your food.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Like, or put a, like, bait mountain of food and put your food somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because now they're out of food.
Just be smarter. She can tell, like, just based on their, like, movements and, like, the way they're flicking their hands around, that the rest of the group, the girl from 2 and the boy from 1, think that whoever made the explosion had to have been dead. You know? Yeah. And they go off to the lake when it becomes dark.
Even though they didn't hear a cannon or...
Probably heard the cannon during the explosion.
Oh.
And then when it's night, they go off hunting with the stuff they had on hand. So, like, they put on some of those night vision goggles and stuff.
Yeah.
Katniss realizes that her left ear is completely deafened.
Katniss.
She is starting to hear some ringing in her right ear, and she puts on the glasses, cleans her ear with a little bit of her drinking water, and has a very light meal. And this is Katniss's first night in the cold without that sleeping bag. So she, like, kind of digs in the ground a little bit, makes a little spot, and puts leaves and the plastic over her to sleep. And she's like, oh, I guess I have a little bit of sympathy for that girl who lit the fire on the first night. And I'm like, fuck you. Literally, fuck you.
Wow, I can only empathize with people when I go through their situation.
When I go through their exact situation. Yeah. It can't be literally one single difference.
Yep.
Anyway, the next morning, she can hear some sound out of her left ear, or her right ear. And she ends up hearing laughing. And she looks, and it's Foxface, who's just, like, fucking hysterical at the rubble, at the fact that it happened that way. And she ends up finding some useful stuff in the mix. Unlike, the careers were like, well, blown up, nothing else can exist anymore. And Foxface and Katniss are like, there's literally still stuff in there.
Do you ever scavenge ever?
Oh, I gotta yawn.
Yawn time. My turn.
She feels well enough to walk and starts walking back to the rendezvous point. And as she goes, she feels really uncomfortable without having any sound from her left ear.
I would too.
Yep. I get that.
If I went deaf, I'd be like, oh,
Yo,
shit.
What the fuck? She gets to the spot and Rue's not there. And she spends the afternoon doing some, like, cleaning, like, of herself, some medication, but ends up just, like, waiting in the tree and having what she calls a hollow day, which is just never getting full. It becomes a little bit later. She becomes really worried about Rue. And she starts looking around and heads to the third fire. So it was like 1, 2, 3 fires. And she's like, it maybe didn't even get lit. And as she moves, she hears a bird singing Rue's little song. So she starts to go that direction. And then she hears the distinct sound of a young girl screaming.
Cool.
And then begins screaming her name, and she knows it's Rue because literally nobody else could be making that sound. And right as she breaks through the clearing, she sees Rue in a net just as the spear stabs her in the chest.
So it isn't the scene in a movie where she gets fucking-paled by the throwing spear. She's on the ground and gets stabbed.
No. It's very similar to... So let me keep going. So she wrecks the boy from District 1, immediately kills his ass, and just shouts at Rue. She's like, crazy. She's like, are there more? Are there more? Are there more? And Rue's like, no, I'm dying, no. But Rue has, like, done a fetal position. So she may have been on her side, or laying down, but I picture it more like she was maybe on her knees, kind of, like, struggling to get, like, it had fallen down on her.
Yeah, don't you hate it when you're playing Fortnite and your friends don't call out the enemies?
Always call out.
Oh, you gotta call out, dude.
So Rue's curled in the fetal position into her own body and around the spear, and Katniss knows that there's no surviving this because the spear is down to the shaft in her stomach. Which in the movie, it's like a quarter of an inch into her stomach. And yeah. I was always kind of like, I mean, you could probably survive that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be great. But because what, if it's like a good sized spear, if it's as long as your hand, that's halfway to your spine.
Yeah, that's almost all the way through.
And she's tiny. It's probably all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby. Anyways, Katniss just starts to hold her, and Rue asks about the food. She's like, did we do it? And she's happy to hear that it's all gone. And she's like, Katniss, please win. And Rue's slowly fading out, and she's like, can you please sing me a song as you go? And Katniss sings the song that she used to sing to Prim.
What? I take the walk.
That's not the song.
To Poland.
And this is a sad part. You're pissing me off. This is sad. And as she finishes the song, like, Rue has passed about halfway through the song, but Katniss is like, well, I have to finish it. I have to finish the song for Rue. And I'm like, she's dead. Like,
you don't know.
Anyways, tears start falling on her, and Katniss gives her a kiss on the head. And she's mad. This is where Katniss finally understands the anger that Gale has at the Capitol.
Yeah. This again, her empathy skills off the charts.
I will note she's 16, but I feel like majority of humans have pretty okay empathy at that age.
If I had a friend that was murdered at 16.
Yeah. I wouldn't need a lot to tell me that was fucked up.
Yeah. If I had a far acquaintance that had a friend that was murdered at 16, I'd be like, oh shit.
Well, Rue's 12. Oh, you're 16. Okay.
I'm 16. I'm a little 16-year-old driving my car. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. You're 25. No. Yes?
Who knows?
Not me. That's for sure. Anyway, she decides she wants somebody to hate. She wants to hate the boy who killed Rue. She also wants to hate the Capitol.
The boy who lived?
And she remembers Peeta's thought about not being a pawn in their game. She's like, yeah, I won't be the pawn in their game. Which is like, wow, remember how fucking mean you were to Peeta about that?
And, you pawning pretty good now.
You killed him.
Yeah.
So she starts decorating Rue's body in flowers, yellow, violet, and white flowers, so that the last image of her she has is that she's bright and alive. And she knows...
But she dead.
She's dead. She knows that they will have to show this at the Capitol no matter how much they don't want to, because Katniss is doing shit there, like, it's kind of unprecedented. Mm-hmm. But they always show the bodies being picked up.
Yeah.
As the hovercraft picks up poor little Rue's body, a Mockingjay gets close to Katniss and sings Rue's little song. And it's like, I'm safe now. And Katniss is like, well, I mean, in a way. Like, I guess.
No, not really.
Anyway.
Dead.
Oh, this part made me... I didn't remember this sweet part.
Yeah.
As she gets ready to sleep, a gift from Sponsor drops on her lap. And it's a loaf of bread. But it's not particularly a loaf of bread she's familiar with. It's not from her district, and she recognizes it as the bread from District 11. And this is something, again, I didn't really remember, is that the people of a district could scrounge all their money together to get a gift for their tributes. Mm. So this bread, she recognizes it as a gift that District 11 had scraped together to get all this for Rue, to get this bread for Rue. And she had passed, and instead of deciding to pull it and everybody getting their money back, they decided to give it to Katniss.
Do you know it'd be really racially charged?
What?
If it was cornbread.
Oh my god. Do you even hear any of what I just said?
Yeah, I did. I like blacked out halfway through.
Because you're not going, oh my god, that is so sweet.
Yeah. Fake characters.
You're still not
fake
doing
lives.
it.
Oops.
You were distraught at Twilight. But God forbid that Rue dies.
I knew she was gonna die. It's fine.
There are only 6 kids left in the games. She has absolutely what?
Skill issue.
Oh my god, she has horrible dreams. You're in 20-minute timeout.
I know.
And when she wakes up, she has she feels a heavy loss. So she gives herself like simple commands to follow, like, now we have to sit up, Katniss. Katniss, now you gotta drink. What? Oh, you're yawning. And eventually she starts moving around and thinking about how she's fucking ready to kill Cato.
Yeah.
She's like, holy shit, I have a chance to win. She's like, I'm in the top 8. And it's extremely rare for somebody to be from District 12 in the top 8, let alone both of them.
Yeah.
And she kind of just like has a slow day. She realizes that the boy from District 1 was her first actual kill. She's like, holy shit. She's like, it's sad to think that his family is somewhere mourning him.
Yeah.
Which honestly, considering he's a career, they're probably like disowning him, not mourning him.
And or celebrating. Because like one of them has to die.
Yeah. The day ends and nobody had died, which means it was a boring day in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. It could be like how like warrior cultures in ancient times, like Vikings and Spartans and stuff like that, where they were like, they would celebrate people's death in battle.
Yeah.
Like that's the most honorable death you could have.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Anyway, it's Claudius Templesmith. And, he says, there has been a rule change. And Katniss is like, what rules? Our rules are don't step off the podium and don't cannibalize people.
What? Why not?
And he says that there are now able to be 2 winners as long as they are from the same district. And Katniss goes,
what?
And then she goes, Peeta! And she's like, fuck. And then we enter part 3, which is Victor. So chapter 19, she's like, that was dumb as fuck. Why did I scream? That was so dumb. But then she's like, oh wait, there's only like 6 people left. I'm probably chill.
Yeah, in fucking, 2 square miles?
Yeah, probably way more than that, honestly.
Yeah.
It took her a whole day to trek from just the lake to one side of it.
Which people can usually cover 13 miles in a day?
Just about. And she's like practiced and was healthy.
And it's a circle, so 13 divided by 2 would be
do math.
6.5. And then 6.5 times pi.
Stop. Do it.
What?
Do it. Do 16 times 5.
I forget. 16. Or no, it wouldn't be 16. It's 16. It's 6.5 times pi.
Which is
so
3.14.
times 3.
No, times 3.14.
Well, 3 first. Let's get that.
Okay.
Let's get that first.
Shut up. Let me go to the next chapter. She then realizes that Peeta, who's been severely wounded and is now her ally.
Skill issue.
And she also realizes that the Star-Crystal Lover angle, this is when she realizes that the angle was something Peeta was working the whole time. Just now.
It's so, is it really empathy if you have to face the fucking music to even think about it that way?
I don't know, because I always think it's interesting that people who believe in, Jesus and stuff they feel like they have to believe in him to do something kind for people.
To have morals.
Or that's how it feels for me. So that's how it feels for Katniss. Like, Katniss has to be faced directly with the issue or it doesn't make any goddamn sense to her. It's like, what do you mean? What?
What do you mean I should be nice to people?
That doesn't make any sense. And it's like, Katniss, literally.
Being kind? What the hell?
I don't understand. Okay, we're going to keep going. If I remembered where I was. So she does another count of who's left. Foxface, who's alone. Thresh, who's also alone. But for sure is a threat. She's like, Foxface is fucking fine, but Thresh will fucking kill us. And
the monster of a man, Thresh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The District 2 contestants, who are Cato and the girl from his district, And she's like, they would also be able to go home together. So they're probably fighting pretty intensely at this point.
Mm-hmm.
She gets some sleep and starts her day really ready. You know, she's eating, she's getting her things together, and she's ready to find Peeta. She also knows that the careers are probably hunting her in particular.
Mm-hmm.
She does some serious thinking and realizes that Peeta, who's very serious and very seriously injured, could not have survived without water. Therefore, he must be near water in the arena. So there were ponds, the lake, and then there's a stream. So, you know, she starts a quick fire as a distraction and then heads off to the stream to find him.
Again, how was that a distraction? Like, what? Oh. The last 3 fires were a trap.
Yeah, let me just go to this next fire.
Let me go to the next one.
That's a great idea. Good job. You good?
Yeah.
Will you survive?
No.
Okay. She searches for a while and she's like, fuck, there's no way I'm gonna find him. And then finally she sees like a little bit of blood and, you know, she like is looking at this trail again. She's like a hunter, so she's pretty okay at finding a trail and stuff.
And then it just stops.
No, she says it looks like, the description she uses is it looks like somebody who was not in their right mind had tried to wipe it away. So like it was like clearly like smudged and like up and down and like side to side. It wasn't like somebody scooped up water and it went away. It was like somebody was like, I'm gonna wipe it off.
Yeah. I'm gonna wipe it off the dirt.
That'll make good. So she goes, Peeta. And nobody says anything. It's just, she's like, fuck it.
Peeta?
I'm about to head off. And then she hears a voice go, you here to finish me off, sweetheart?
Peeta is just Peter in a British accent.
Peeta?
Oh my god.
Peeta?
Peeta, where are you?
She's like,
it's the Hunger Games, isn't it?
May the odds be ever in your favour, mate. I can't do a British accent very well. You got any more? Was that it? This is Bullocks. Okay.
You're taking piss out of me going into cornucopia like that, ain't ya?
That's Australian. Okay. She couldn't really tell where it came from because it was from her bad ear, as it's still not working at all.
Fucking course it isn't.
And she whispers, she's like, Peeta. And then she like looks on the ground and he's his eyes are open staring at her.
She's stepping on his sternum.
Literally, she's like,
he's like,
he's like, close your eyes again. And he goes, and she's like, whoa, you're really good at this. And then he's like, yeah, like, I'm dying.
I'm kind of fucking lit.
And they banter for a minute, and then he's like,
proper banter.
He's like, yeah, Kato cut my left leg up high. And he's like,
right by the dick.
He's like, 1 second, come here. And he's still full of like funnies and like he's just a sweet guy. And he's like,
oh, is it because of the blood loss?
Yeah, he's like, come here. And she gets like really close and he whispers, he's like, don't forget we're madly in love, so you can kiss me anytime. And she's like, okay, let's get
all right,
going.
buddy.
So he can't move at all. He can't even make it to the stream that's like 2 feet away from him. Like he's injured.
It's crazy. It's like he collapsed there for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's covered in mud and stuff. So she's like, well, we have to get rid of all this stuff. She ends up having to cut his shirt away. And
Don't
then
eat it. Get those abs out. Get those abs out, baby.
Doesn't have abs. But anyways, shirt off. She's handling the wounds on his top part of his body. You know, like the tracker jack stings, the burns and stuff like that. He's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, can you eat some of this food? And he's like, no, like, I'm not hungry. And she's like, fuck, he's really sick. And he's like burning with fever.
Mm-hmm.
So gross warning here for the next.
It's yucky time.
3 minutes.
Pew, pew.
It is yucky. So she pulls his pants off. He's wearing underwear. She doesn't like naked. She pulls his pants off very slowly. Are you ready? Because it's really gross.
Yeah.
The cut is obvious. Cut is maybe not the right word for it. The gash.
Slash.
It's big. Is oozing blood and pus, and it smells like bad flesh.
Oof.
And the smell of rotten flesh is not something you want to smell if you haven't before.
Oh my god! Can we talk about my mom's story?
No. I'm serious. Don't talk about that. I'm making us dinner, and if you talk about that, we're not eating Alfredo tonight.
Ugh.
You can secretly record that later when I'm working upstairs.
Yeah.
Do not talk to me about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, she's like, fuck. Like, she's like, I really want to run. She's like, Prim and her mom can do this, but not Katniss. She's like, I don't even want to see him naked. I don't want to see anybody naked. I don't like it when people cough. I don't want to be here.
Put those away.
And Peeta's like, can tell that she's she's probably turned a shade of green or two. And he's like, are you good? She's like, yeah, like, let's keep going.
Big vom moment, but I'm fine.
Like, and she decides to put the Tracker Jacker leaves on it because, like, they clearly did something to the Tracker Jacker wound, so maybe they'll start to, like, clean it a little bit.
Maybe something will happen.
It's all she's got.
Yeah.
And
does she not have the gel anymore from the burns?
it's just burns, though. But she does put it on. Well, she does this, and it just fucking juices pus. Like, for, like, she's, like, 3 rounds.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
3 rounds of the leaves, and it was still juicing pus. And she's like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And Peeta's just lightening the mood. He's just really good.
Put him in the stream and leave him.
Literally. After a bit more of treatment, she couldn't even see the wound.
Yeah.
So after a bit more of this, she can finally, like, actually see it.
Yeah.
And it's down to the bone. Not good.
No, that's not good.
And I also imagine it on the outside of the leg, more so because if it was on the inside, it probably would have hit the carotid.
Yeah, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But also, there's a lot of big veins that go all the way around your thighs.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of imagined it in the middle bit of the thigh.
right in the
Right
fat part.
there. Yeah, right in the chunky bit. They talk about Haymitch, and it turns out Haymitch has not sent Peeta anything. And Peeta's like, duh, you're his favorite. And Katniss is like, nuh-uh.
But dude, you're gonna have to shove stuff in there.
And
You can't suture it.
What do you mean shove stuff in there?
In the wound to keep it from bleeding again.
She wraps it with a Band-Aid. She has a first aid kit.
Oh, wow, a Band-Aid.
Well, like an aid, like a
gauze? Yeah, that still wouldn't.
I know it wouldn't do anything. It's all she's got.
But if you shove it in there, it will clot up and keep it.
She's not a healer. Okay, finally.
She didn't get any first aid at the training camp?
I mean, she got basic I don't think they're going to teach you how to fucking heal a gigantic... When you're, like... Typically, when you have a giant gash, you're gone.
Yeah.
People don't typically survive those. Let alone for the amount of time Peeta has. What?
Skill issue.
They move from the river, and he is not well. He is barely able to move.
He is not chilling.
They find, like, a cave-like structure, which I'm like, is it a cave? Or
is it a cave or a divot? A overhang?
But they settle there, and he's like, Katniss, if I don't make it back, and she's like, shut up. And he's like, no, Katniss, seriously, if I don't make it back, and she's like, stop. She's like, no, seriously. And then she kisses him on the lips, and it's like, ugh. But it's her first time ever kissing a boy. Who knows if she's kissed girls or not? I don't know.
That sounds pretty straight, and I don't like it. I'm heterophobic.
She then hears a parachute, and she hopes it's meds for Peeta's leg, because obviously his leg is fucking nasty as shit. But it's just broth, and Haymitch's message to her is clear, and it's like, you're supposed to be in love with him! He's dying! Give me something I can work with!
Yeah.
And she's like, shit, I've never been in love. I guess I really gotta try harder.
It give him good soup.
Good soup. And she kisses him awake, and he's looking at her, and she's like, wow, he's really fucking good at this. It's like, Katniss.
It's like he
like he is in love with you, literally. Okay. Now we go to chapter 20. Peeta sucks at eating. It takes her forever to get soup in him.
Would you say skill issue?
I would. Not probably. Did I prank you, babe?
I got so pranked.
You got absolutely wrecked. Oh no, where am I? Okay.
Oh no, the list, the notes.
The notes. And I bumped the mic. And the temperature is starting to drop, like, really unnaturally fast. And she's like, the game makers are kind of done with this, it seems. They really want to be done.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really have any comment or anything about that. It's just like, okay. Just a pin there.
Just a note.
But even with how cold it is at night, Peeta's fever is not dropping at all. And Katniss spends just like the whole night worrying about him, frantic kind of thing. She's also, because she's kind of selfish because she is 16, spends the whole night worried about how much more vulnerable this makes her because Peeta's all wounded and stuff.
Hey, but to be honest, I'd worry about that.
I would too.
If you're in a murder dome, I would worry about that.
Welcome to the murder dome. In the morning, it kind of feels like Peeta's fever is a little bit better. And she leaves the cave to get some food before he's up. And when she gets back, Peeta's pissed. He's distraught. He's like, I thought you'd been killed. I thought Clove and Cato had gotten you. And this is when we learn that Clove is the girl from District 2. But they do lovey-dovey stuff. And she's like, wonder where he learned this because his mom is a bitch. Like, where did
he learn to be nice to people? Because his mom...
Yeah, well, his dad's really nice. His mom's just a abuser.
Abusive?
Yeah. She takes some time to sleep next, and she's mad that Peeta didn't wake her up.
It's me, Peter.
And he's like, what would you have done? There's literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
And another little gross warning. This one's quick. She looks at his leg, and even though it seems better, the wound is not really. Even though Peeta seems a little bit more chipper, the wound is not better. The swelling has increased. The skin has become very tight and inflamed. And there have started to become red streaks creeping up his legs, which is blood poisoning.
Yeah, all that was fine besides that.
Is blood poisoning a real thing, babe?
I don't know if it's a real thing. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you would just have an infection, but...
Yeah, it just sounds like an infection. I mean, it all kind of sounds like the normal healing process of things being red and then...
Yeah,
I mean, it's
inflammation
not
and
healing is not a quick process. Ever. Although it would be nice if it was.
Tell that to all movies.
Literally, they're like, and she's fine. And it's like, wait, what?
She just had a bullet hole through the head. What are you talking about?
She's not fine, guys. I'm telling you that right fucking now.
That's going to take years of physical therapy. What are you talking about?
They're like, but she's chill. Anyways.
Oh my god, The Fast and Furious is one of the worst series about this, where they do crazy shit and they're like, yeah, he's fine. Where what is his name? Vin Diesel drives a car, gets on the hood, slams it, like they're on an overpass.
Okay.
Jumps from one side of the overpass over the gap to another, catches a woman, and then lands in the windshield of another car.
Ooh.
And then just gets up and walks off. And it's like, he's dead.
I bend wrong.
He's dead.
And my body's like, you're done.
I watch football and I'm like, oh, God.
Those poor guys. I mean, I'm 23 and you're 25 because, yes, we've discussed that. Mm-hmm. But I do have hypermobility syndrome. So, like, my body getting a little out of whack is easier said than done. Yeah. Or easier done than said, I suppose. But still, literally, I don't understand. They're like, and then they were fine. I'm like, no, they weren't.
No, they fully weren't.
So, okay, let's get back. So, Peeta is obviously not fine. She knows they're going to need some crazy-ass meds from the Capitol that are going to cost a fucking fortune. But she's, like, lying. She's like, oh, like, it looks a lot better. And she's like,
it looks great.
And Peeta goes, Katniss, you suck at lying. I know what blood poisoning is.
That looks great.
And she's like, no, we'll be able to heal it once we win and once we're in the Capitol. There's only 5 of us, or 6 of us left. Like, we've got a good chance now. And she cooks him up a good meal without lighting a fire. She's basically able to make, like, hot soup with boiling rocks. Because it's really starting to get hot during the day and cold at night. What are you doing?
That feels bad. If it's getting hot enough that you can make warm soup.
Well, that's rocks. What the game makers are doing, something with the temperature.
I know, but you'd be dead, though.
Anyways. She's like, I can't go hunting without leaving him alone, so we're just gonna have to, like, eat this shitty soup and settle down for the night. And Peeta's like, can you tell me a story? Like, I want a happiest story that you can remember. And she's like, fuck, I don't really have a lot of those.
What do you think the power consumption of the Hunger Games are?
Insane.
Like, a full city of power consumption? Because they have screens that make up the sky, right?
Yeah.
So what? That's
No. They fly the screens in.
what do you mean?
They like fly the screen on a hovercraft in.
But it's a dome of screens, right?
It's a force field.
Okay. But I suspect that would take more energy than an LCD screen dome.
No, I agree with you. It's a lot. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Happiest day she can remember. She's like, I don't have a lot of those. But she decides to tell an edited version about how she got Prin's goat Lady. So the real non-edited version they talk about first is she and Gale were hunting and they found this like huge buck. And they knew from experience that like if they brought this, they were going to get bank. And so, they shot it. And they knew from experience they've killed 3 before, not to bring it into like the black market directly. Because when they had brought it in one time to like start negotiating, people just started fucking ripping it to shreds.
Yeah.
So they like took it directly to the butcher. And they got like a really solid price on it. But she like lies to PETA in the Capitol and she's like, we just sold a locket. Which is like, if you had that locket the whole time, why didn't you sell it before?
We were starving to death, but this locket was really important. And
we really wanted to keep the locket.
It had some dope pictures of it. It was like Sonic Rule 44 and it was really cool.
Shut up. Okay, so then she continues that she went to the market and she saw the goat man. And she's like, nobody knows how he got his goats, but he's got a bunch of goats.
It's me, the goat man.
Yeah, so like apparently he had just like saved up a bunch of money and he just has a bunch of goats now, which is like super rare.
Yeah.
And he's got like this injured goat who had been clearly attacked by like a dog or something and it was like had an infection and stuff. And the butcher was coming to use it for meat, but like Katniss was like, how much for the goat? And he was like, well, the butcher's coming. Then the butcher came and saw that Katniss kind of wanted this goat. Was like, well, I'm not buying this damn goat. And just like kind of like...
Yeah. Fuck this goat, I'm out of here.
Well, remember how PETA was like, she has no idea the effect she has on people. This is like clearly a spot where she was getting help and she did recognize this assistance from the butcher.
Because also, like, how much money do you think he made off that deer?
How much money? Oh, the butcher's a woman. You're sexist. Oh my god,
my sexism.
The butcher is a woman. And she's thick.
Oh shit.
No, but yeah, she probably made bank off the deer.
Yeah.
Like, and they got to keep some of the deer meat and, like, now they have a good relationship with the butcher.
Yeah.
Anyways, she brought it home to Katniss, or to Prim and her mom, who, like, healed it. And they started selling the cheese and the milk, which is, like, another way they survived.
Didn't you say it was a dude goat?
No, it's a female goat.
Okay.
The guy is the goat man.
Oh, okay. I was like, what kind of milk are they getting from this dude goat?
The goat's name is Lady, so it's a woman.
Oh.
Right after this story, they have some banter, and they hear like the trumpets in the sky, and it's Claudius Templesmith, and he's like, "I'm inviting everyone to a feast," and of course they're like, "We're not fucking going to that."
No.
But he's like, "Ho, before you write me off, each of you needs something absolutely desperately. It's gonna be there." And then he's like, click. And right off the bat, Peeta goes, "You're not going." Katniss is like, I'm not gonna go. And he literally mocks her. He's like, "You're fucking terrible at lying. Like, don't ever bet at cards. You're bad at it. If you leave, if you try to go, I'm not gonna." He's like, "If you try to go, I will crawl and follow you, which will just make it a fucking mess. And what are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, they reach a stalemate and they eat soup. She's like she's kind of mad, going to the stream to wash up. And then a little parachute flies out. And she's like, fuck yeah, Haymitch has finally provided me meds to heal Peeta. But it's not meds. It's like sleep syrup.
It's a gun.
It's a gun. It's sleep syrup, which is just like kind of like a NyQuil, but like addictive, like big addictive. And
cool.
Like way will knock you out.
Just opium. Just
it's
straight
probably
opium.
And she's mad. She's like, why did Haymitch give this to me? And she realizes that she's going to have to knock Peeta out.
Yeah.
So she gets some berries and she mixes them up and puts it in there.
And roofies Peeta.
Really, she does. And Peeta's like, wow, these are good. These are really sweet. And she's like, yeah, they're sweet berries. My mom uses them. And then she's like, really? And he takes and he's like almost done. And he's like, they taste like syrup. And he's like, fuck. And she like grabs his nose in his mouth and forces him to swallow, and he like tries to throw up, but he's already passing out.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Who can't lie, PETA?"
These are really sweet and blue and chewy. Yeah, they're sweet blue chewy berries.
And then, oh, yum. And that's where we're gonna end right now, Justin.
Yeah.
How do you
roofie
feel?
Scene?
Yeah, how do you feel?
It's not as bad as Twilight.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I think the Twilight movies are better than the Hunger Games movies. But I think the opposite for the books.
You think the Twilight movies are better than the Hunger
really
Games
don't
movies?
like the Hunger Games movies.
What?
Yeah.
I think we gotta get divorced.
Oh
What?
no.
I'm shocked.
No, I just really, really don't like the Twilight.
Is it because you don't like what's her face?
It might be that I do not like.
Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah.
And you like our
She gives me bad vibes.
Yeah, she's no bueno. That's genuinely shocking to me to find out. And we're
The
just gonna
best
keep
movies
going.
are Divergent. I love those movies.
Shut up, those suck. Except for the fact that what's his name is in it.
Number 4, the hot guy.
He's not number 4.
Whatever. What is his name?
I don't know. It's Tobias. I can't remember if it's Tobias in the movie or in real life. I think it's in the movie or in the book too, I guess. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. Please leave us a review if you can. And by a review, I mean give us 5 stars on Spotify. It's right
I'll
under the
kiss
thingy.
both your elbows, baby.
And then, Justin, I want to play a quick game because I'm on our analytics here. Out of the 50 states in the U.S., who do you think is the second most listened, like in the states, who listens to us the second most?
Because Ohio is number 1.
Yeah, because all of our family's in Ohio.
Yep.
What if I told you it started with an O?
Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's Oklahoma.
There's only 2 that start with O.
I was making it easy for you, man.
No, I want to play the game fair. Do it again.
Okay,
Do it
who's
again.
the third most?
Kentucky.
Ew, let me look. No, my dad listens on
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, so pick another one.
Indiana?
Nope, it's Colorado.
Fuck!
So for those of you in
Oh,
Oklahoma,
that's Spency.
yeah, thanks. You can't say
Thanks,
his name.
Spencer.
Justin, damn it.
Yeah.
You can't say people's name without asking them. For those of you in Oklahoma in Broken Arrow or Tulsa, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. If you haven't left us a review, that's okay. We still love you. But a little bit less than those who have left us a review.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thought. We're getting close. I think if we don't hit 25, I'm still going to be really proud of us because we put like a shit ton of episodes out. Okay, I'm going to go make Alfredo. Thank you folks so much for listening. My name's Blue and I love to read.
And my name's Justin. Blue forgot the outro.
I did. This is Reading Held Hostage.
That's going to be the outro song. Keep going. Keep singing this.
Go ahead.
Okay.